7 victory. Nothing too flashy from Oakland today. Michael Crabtree had a really nice touchdown catch in the back of the end zone. These are two teams. They're kind of the middle of the pack teams. You know, with a couple things here and there, you might see them be able to make a push with the way they're playing right now. Baltimore surprised everybody to even be at 3-1 at this point with their first loss today. But hey, you know, that it was a decent game from both sides. Oakland, again, like I said, they've pulled out another close win. This game, this was pitiful, pathetic, putrid, disgusting, embarrassing, just all around bad football from the Detroit Lions today, playing the Brian Hoyer-led Chicago Bears. Chicago wins this one 17-14, and that score is a lot closer than the Lions played today. The offense really didn't do anything. They gave no help to Matthew Stafford. The defense did squat. Golden Tate, he seems like he's having a receiver diva moment. He's definitely not happy with what's going on with the offense or his role in it right now. He made stupid mistakes today. Caldwell went with his style of motivation to bench the guy in the second half like he did with Stafford just last year against Minnesota. And, you know, I'm sorry, this team, as injured as we are, as little depth as we have, Curry Hyder, he had another sack today. He's among the league leaders in sacks. We're not getting enough out of our defensive side. We're not getting enough out of our special teams outside of Sam Martin. Prater's missed a couple field goals this year, an extra point so far this year. And the offense, I'm sorry, Stafford's the only one doing anything. And today, as hard as he tried, he couldn't do it by himself. He threw a couple interceptions today. He only had a little over 200 yards passing. Marvin Jones, you know, he played through his hamstring injury today or whatever was left of that. He didn't do anything. Ebron, okay, he put up another 40 yards receiving, big deal. He got hurt. Nothing out of the running game. We just couldn't get into a flow against the just as injured Chicago Bears and less talented Chicago Bears. It was pretty pathetic. There's a lot of calls right now for Jim Caldwell to lose his job. And as much as I respect Jim Caldwell and believe he does have a part on any NFL franchise's coaching roster, Jim Caldwell should not be an NFL head coach. His demeanor, his unaggressiveness, and his lack of emotion, perceived emotion, are dragging this team down. And just like I talked about with Andrew Luck and wasting the prime of his career, Detroit is once again wasting the prime of another player's career in Matthew Stafford. This is a guy, I will preach it until he is no longer in the league. He has been one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He is continuing to prove he is one of the best quarterbacks in the league this season. And it comes down to you got to have guys that are going to make plays for you. It can't just be in years past Calvin Johnson was the guy who made plays for us, and that's what got us through all the time because we had at least one guy making plays. Golden Tate had some good years. He led the team in catches the last 2 years. I don't know what's going on with him this season. He's definitely not motivated. Maybe his feelings are hurt. They brought in Marvin Jones, and the media started calling him the number one receiver. I don't know. But they got to get this thing turned around, or it's going to be a really long season for us Lions fans. And it's already, one where we're looking at, okay, is Levy ever going to be anything again? Not that can he come back and play close to what he used to, but is he ever going to be anything again? His legs, he's just piling up leg injuries now. And it's to do with muscles. It's not like bones or tendons or anything like that. The muscles just are giving out on him all the time. Ziggy, he plays so hard and with such reckless abandon. How long is he going to be out with his ankle sprain? And we're thin. We don't have a lot of linebackers. This is, you're going to see, I think, Caldwell lose his job at some point, if not during this season, during the off season. My only hope is that Bob Quinn doesn't, go hire a New England Patriots coordinator to be our next coach. Because I don't want to see Josh McDaniels, and I'm sorry, I don't know the bearded wonder's name off the top of my head there, the defensive coordinator for the Patriots. I don't want to see either one of them be our next head coach. If we're going to promote a coordinator, a guy with no head coach experience, I would say let's give Terrell Austin a shot. If he can at all get anything out of this defense the rest of the year with what he's gotten out of Hyder, I say give him a shot if he can interview for it, and he pulls off even a decent interview. But there's definitely going to be big changes in Detroit. Chicago gets off the snide today, gets their first victory. We're both at the cellar of the NFC North division. Another AFC South game, Houston and Tennessee. Brock Osweiler, he goes on, continues throwing more interceptions today, but Houston's able to pull out their victory 27-20 over a pretty bad Tennessee team right now. They are young, they're making mistakes, they don't have a lot of playmakers, especially at the wide receiver position. DeMarco Murray had another nice game today, running the ball with a couple touchdowns and a little over 80 yards. Marcus Mariota, he's got to step up. I'm sorry, these quarterbacks, they get all the credit in the world when things go right. They need to be butchered a little more when things don't go right. Bad game for Tennessee. They're having a rough season. I don't see them fulfilling my prediction of being a surprise team that plays smash mouth football and wins that AFC South. But we'll see. I don't think the winner of that division is going to need much more than 8 or 9 wins, and Tennessee still has enough time to get that. New England lost their first game during the Brady suspension today, getting shut out for the first time since the early 90s as Buffalo goes into New England and wins 16-0, which isn't a surprise. Jacoby Brissett's not all that polished of an NFL quarterback. The win he does have on his name right now wasn't that impressive. He had a nice bootleg rollout run for a touchdown that everybody got excited about, and the Patriots won that game off of familiarity and special teams, not because of his play. It wasn't due to his mistakes, but he just didn't have enough, and that showed today. He wasn't able to run that offense all that well. I mean, Martellus Bennett went over 100 yards receiving, but he's a beast. It's going to be real fun next week. I think Gronk will come back fully healthy next week magically as Brady returns, and Brady's going to use those tight ends and Edelman, and he's going to, I think, tear people up. If not next week, then for the rest of the season once they get in sync. But New England will be 3-1, still sitting on top of the AFC East. And it's a big win for Buffalo. Anytime you can beat a division opponent, especially like the Patriots in that division, the East, you got to ring your cap for that. Seattle, they went out and they just played football today. They don't really know what they're doing in Seattle. They're just winning games right now. Their defense is still good. It's not great anymore. And the offense just continues to make plays as they try and figure out who they are. They pull it off today, 27-17 over the Jets. The Jets, you got too much talent to be playing this bad, so that's got to either be motivation or coaching. You got a front seven on defense that can dominate anybody, but nothing happening on the back end to help support that. You got an offense that is stagnant right now, nothing going consistently in the running game. Fitzpatrick's continuing to throw interceptions today. Tough game for the Jets up there in the Pacific Northwest as the Seahawks pull this one out. Big win for them as they stay atop of their division there in the NFC West. Washington pulls out the win 31-20 over Cleveland. Biggest highlight of this game for me was Terrell Pryor burning Josh Norman, and once again showing he's pretty much the only thing Cleveland has. Not surprised Washington won this one, as Cleveland, like I said, they don't really have anything going for them right now, and Washington didn't have to take advantage of much there. Denver and Tampa Bay, they're still in a rain delay due to the storms there down in Tampa, but Denver is up 27-7 in that one. Trevor Siemian left the game early with a left shoulder injury as McDonald from Tampa Bay broke through and slammed him down on a sack. Rookie Paxton Lynch has come in. He's played well. His numbers actually right now for just the 2 quarters he's been in are higher than that of Jameis Winston, who's been playing the whole game. Denver's defense has been playing lights out, of course. They have 8 hits, couple sacks. Aqib's got a couple picks already of Winston, and they're playing a typical Denver Broncos game right now. They should pull this one off once the game gets going again. Arizona, here's a team similar to Florida State. If we had preseason rankings, Arizona would have been right up there as one of the teams we were looking at to, be a Super Bowl contender. They are now 1-3 on the season as they lost to a bad LA Rams team 17-13 today. Arizona's not able to get anything going on offense. Their defense is not as impressive as I thought it was going to be coming into the year. And they let the Rams go up and beat them 17-13. Arizona's got to get their ship righted. They got to start playing with some pride, some toughness, some meanness, some nastiness, or they're going to find themselves at the bottom with the Rams at the end of the year in that division. Or with San Francisco, for that matter, as they lost to Dallas today, 24-17. Dak Prescott still has not thrown an interception, so he now holds the record by himself, as Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles had a bye week this week, and they'll come back next week and play my Detroit Lions. But Dallas goes into San Francisco today, and outside of Jerry Jones getting pelted by that helmet in the face there, they had a nice day. They went down 14 early. The rookies helped them battle back. You had both rookies, running back and quarterback, Elliott and Prescott, doing their thing today. Elliott went over 100 yards, scored a touchdown. So, that was huge for them. More and more confidence as they keep going. And, when Romo gets back, Dallas is going to have a tough call if they're on a win streak and they're up in the NFC East, which it looks like they could be as this kid just continues to get better each and every week. Another battle of bad teams. New Orleans was able to come back late on San Diego and won that one 35-34. Chargers just don't have enough. New Orleans doesn't have a defense. What can you say about that game? Those two teams aren't going anywhere and aren't going to do anything. Sorry if you're a fan of them. I'm a fan of the Lions. We're in the same bucket this year. New Orleans, you paid too much money to Drew Brees. You didn't have enough to build a team around. And you're going to find a lot of teams, I think, that are going to get stuck doing that. Look at the Lions. We had the same situation with Stafford, Megatron, and Sue. We let Sue go. Megatron retires. Now we're going to have some money, but we don't have a team around Stafford anymore because we didn't have it put in the right places at the right times. Tonight we have Pittsburgh and Kansas City tonight. Return of Le'Veon Bell. We'll see if he goes off. Pittsburgh is saying they're going to use him a lot in the passing game tonight. And expect D'Angelo Williams to have a good game also. Kansas City's defense is really going to have to play their best game of the season if they're going to want to have a chance against the Steelers. I know the Steelers kind of got shut down last week offensively, but expect them to come out and try and put up a lot of points again this week, especially with Bell back. They're going to be able to open up their offense a little bit more as he's a better receiving back than D'Angelo Williams is, even though D'Angelo Williams does lead or is up, in the leaders in rushing right now. And he's been playing lights out for sure. Tomorrow night we have the Giants in Minnesota on Monday Night Football, opening up that Minnesota stadium first time on Monday night with the Giants. And that'll be a good one too. Expect Minnesota's defense to feast tomorrow night for sure. All right, guys, that's another Sunday. I really appreciate the DirkCannon.com for being the official fantasy partner of Real Deal Sports Talk. Check out the GoFundMe page. Every dollar helps. I appreciate all of my donations so far. We're going to keep working towards our goal of getting better equipment to make a better show, to keep this thing rolling and just make it better for everybody, me and you guys included. Check us out on Facebook, Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. Check us out on Twitter, Real Deal KVP. Check out our app on the Google Play Store, Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. Possibility of an iTunes app coming soon. We'll see. But until next time, everybody, you know how we do. Just be real.